The most fearsome predators of the Paleozoic era were undoubtedly the rocoscorpions. These enormous arthropods dominated the very top of the food pyramid for more than 200 million years. The Permian extinction stopped them from conquering not only the seas and oceans, but also the land. Today, we're going to explain how such a strange life form came into existence and discuss the various species of crustaceans that lived on our planet during different periods. Remember to subscribe to the Cryptovana channel now. That way, you'll always be the first to know when we release new videos about Earth's mysteries. We also strongly encourage viewers to support the channel creators by leaving comments and hitting the like button. Thanks to your support, the channel will be able to reach even more fans of paleontology and other natural sciences. It is indeed accurate to call these creatures, which resemble monsters from science fiction movies, by their scientific name, Eurypterids. The common English name sea scorpions and the Russian term rocoscorpions are not scientifically precise. These names fail to accurately reflect the true origin of these predators. The Greek name for the order, when translated, means wide wing, and this is due to the unique structure of the hind pair of limbs found in these creatures. However, the term rocoscorpions is more understandable and well known to most viewers. Therefore, we will call Eurypteridae by the name rocoscorpions. They made their first appearance in the Ordovician seas around 467 million years ago. About 251 million years ago, because of the Permian extinction event, all marine crustaceans disappeared. Only their descendants were able to survive the catastrophe, having already expanded onto land. The initial scientific descriptions of these arthropods were documented in the early 19th century. Since that time, scientists have uncovered a vast array of the most diverse rocoscorpions. Some of them reached lengths of over 2.5 meters, while others were about the height of an adult man's waist. The smallest member of this group was no longer than 3 centimeters. Currently, there are over 250 known species of Eurypterids. All of these crustaceans shared a similar structural design. Their body was protected by a strong chitin shell. The cephalothorax had a big shield, and the tail had segmented armor. 6 limb pairs attached to the cephalothorax served various functions. The first pair had strong claws, the next 4 were for walking, and the last pair was flat for swimming, giving the group its name. Crustaceans actually had 2 distinct pairs of eyes. The larger faceted eyes were positioned on each side of the cephalothorax, while a pair of simpler eyes were situated at the front of their head. Their segmented, mobile tail gradually tapered, ending either in a sharp, elongated spike or a broad blade that functioned effectively as a fin. This unique body structure enabled crustaceans to crawl along the bottom and also swim. They typically moved within the bottom layers, commonly inhabiting bays and estuaries. During the late period, Eurypterids began to spread into freshwater environments, and some species were even capable of briefly venturing onto land. By the time of the Ordovician period, crustaceans had diversified quite significantly, evolving into distinct families. The majority of identified species belong to either the Megalograptidae or the Stylonurinae subfamilies. It is believed that the earliest member of the Megalograptaceae is Pentacoptera. Sea scorpions from this particular genus roamed the oceans approximately between 467
According to the researchers,
these creatures could have a length ranging from 75 to 170 centimeters. They are regarded as the largest rocoscorpions within their family. Scientists have access to a vast number of prints and fossils linked to this animal. All these findings pertain to individuals of various ages. This abundance of evidence enabled researchers to reconstruct the appearance of Pentacoptera in quite a comprehensive manner. Its head shield was trapezoidal in shape and extended along the body. A pair of spines is preserved on the third podomere, which is part of the articulated limb. The posterior spike of telson is notably flat and elongated. Stylonurinae from the Ordovician period are exemplified by a genus like Brachyoptera. This particular brachioscorpion had very small dimensions. Its body length was not more than 7 centimeters. It did not have chelicerae or limbs for swimming. The front pair of legs were positioned beneath the abdomen. Given this specific body structure, scientists believe that this creature moved solely along the bottom. Meanwhile, Brachyopterus, like other Eurypterids, was a predator. Scientists think it lived like modern brine shrimp. Brachyoptera might have been parasitic, feeding on larger animals then. The Silurian and Devonian were the age of Brachyopterans, when Eurypteridae thrived, with many species and genera diversifying greatly. Their shapes and sizes varied greatly, with the Rhacoscorpions emerging as the dominant creatures of that era. In some fossils from that period, their remains account for up to 90% of all discoveries made by paleontologists. The most prevalent species is believed to be Eurypterus, a smaller predator that lent its name to the entire group. Its remains are mostly discovered in the seas around the South American continent. During that time, very large crustaceans also began to appear. Acuteramus was one of these enormous creatures. This giant roamed the Earth about 409 to 422 million years ago. Fossils have been found in countries like Canada, the United States, Russia, the Czech Republic, and Algeria, showing its wide distribution. The largest reached over 2 meters, while the smallest were just a few tens of centimeters. The chelicerae of these giant crustaceans resembled the claws of today's crabs, which is quite fascinating. The tail spike of these creatures was both flat and broad. Scientists suggest that predators used this feature primarily for swimming purposes. On land, it is highly probable that these crustaceans were unable to move effectively. The Devonian extinction had a significant impact on numerous species of Eurypterids. By the middle of the Devonian period, at least 10 families within this group had vanished from the Earth. However, it is important to note that the beginning of the Devonian period marks the emergence of the largest crustaceans known to us. Among these creatures, we find Echolopterus, named by paleontologist Otto Akio. This sea scorpion was a predator, reaching lengths of 230 to 260 centimeters. Fossils were found in the US and Germany from 406 to 410 million years ago. Echoloptera's clawed limbs were over 45 centimeters long, hunting invertebrates and fish. It is believed that Echoloptera was the closest relative of Acuteramus. Some scientists even suggest that it was the same animal. Significant differences between these species are only in the structure of the chelicerae. Scientists believe that the shape of the claws may have been influenced by lifestyle and habitat. There are several explanations for the gigantic size of the late crustaceans. There is an opinion that the size of arthropods is influenced by the heaviness of their shell. If the armor grows with the animal's size, it may become too heavy. But the largest Eurypterids had thin exoskeletons, staying agile even when large. This trait is also in the giant millipede, Arthropoda. Crustaceans likely disappeared due to competition from shellfish and shovel-nosed fish. By the beginning of the Carboniferous period, only 3 families of Rhacoscorpions survived, and all of them lived in fresh water. The most successful Rhacoscorpions of the period were the Odolophthalmus. This family included 23 species. This is almost 70% of all extant Eurypterites. Their remains are found almost all over the world, and the most recent ones are about 283 million years old. This widespread distribution of Odolophthalms is due to the convergence of the continents. The landmass at that time was represented by a single supercontinent, Pangaea. These latter crustaceans were 5 to 32 centimeters in size and inhabited shallow waters and coasts. By the end of the Permian period, no species of crustaceans remained in the seas and oceans, as well as in freshwater bodies. Only those species whose representatives had migrated to land in advance were able to continue their existence. By the beginning of the Permian extinction, they could no longer be called rachis. The evolution of new arthropod species was a significant development, resulting in the emergence of modern crayfish, crabs, and a variety of other well-known animals that we recognize today. This evolutionary process has been crucial in shaping the biodiversity we see in aquatic environments. We are truly grateful to each and every one of you who took the time to watch this entire video from start to finish. Your support and interest mean a lot to us, and we hope you found the information both informative and engaging.